The man opened it in one go, saying, "Look, there it is." There was indeed a bloody body of a young woman on the floor. Her mouth was slit open in a pretty gruesome manner. It
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Everybody, welcome back to the second half of the 4 Target Horror Stories animated. I think I'm gonna do the rest in this part if it doesn't freeze like it did last time. And yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's get scared. Oh, sorry. Well, it's not playing. Okay.
I was going through my shopping cart when my eyes went to a girl standing near the counter. She was scanning the entire Target store with her nervous eyes. It was near closing hours, hence, the store had very few customers. There were 2 other people at the counter. The manager was a 50-year-old man with a sharp face. I noticed him staring at the girl with a not-so-gentleman look. The girl was wearing a flower-printed short skirt and a red tank top. Honestly, she was attractive, and I immediately realized why she felt uncomfortable standing near that counter. It was clear from her face that she was hesitating to approach the man at the counter. Once those 2 people left the store, the girl moved her cart away and started going back to the store shelves again. I couldn't help but ask her, "Hey, is everything all right?" To which she replied, "Yeah, I just forgot to get some snacks." I could have just bought my stuff and left the store, but I decided not to leave the girl alone with this weird dude at the counter. "Care for billing?" the man at the counter asked in a rough voice. "No, I will just wait for her to come back," I replied, pulling my cart aside.
Yeah, you creep.
Needless to say, he wasn't happy at all as I robbed him of one chance to be alone with an attractive girl,
see that mole on
make
his
her
face?
uncomfortable in every possible way. I did what I felt I should have done for my sister if she was in place of that girl. After waiting 10 minutes and the girl didn't come back, I started to look for her. I went
should've
straight to
told y'all
the
to go
snacks
get some
area where the
snacks.
girl
You have to
mentioned
go get some
making
snacks.
a check, but there was no one. Standing in the empty passage, I was wondering if she left using the back door out of panic, when suddenly I noticed her cart parked at the end of the passageway. Why did she leave her shopping cart like this? I looked here and there, but didn't see her. I started searching for her in the empty store. Light rain was going outside, and the murmur of thunder hinted towards an upcoming storm. I was already late, so when I didn't find her after searching for almost 15 minutes, I gave up. I was heading back towards the counter when a huge lightning struck nearby and the power went out. The storm has begun. Heavy winds blew like crazy, making the store's glass wall tremble with its pressure. Hello? Anybody? I took out my phone and turned on the flashlight. I heard a soft whimper behind me and turned back right at that moment. The girl was standing there. She was covered in sweat, and tears rolled down from her eyes. "He locked us inside." "What? Who?"
Wait a minute. Where are these locations at? So I know not to go. Cause I'm okay.
"The man at the counter. He's a freak. He had a gun. I have seen it." I had no idea about whatever she was saying. I looked at my phone and saw there was no network. The phones aren't working, right? How did you? He is probably looking for me now. He's gonna kill us both. I couldn't decide what to do at that moment. The girl was saying really scary things about that guy at the counter. I had to act on this matter, so I decided to check the exit first. She said the man locked the exit. But why would he do that? I mean, yeah, he appeared like a weirdo to me, and yeah, he was trying to flirt with that girl. But is he really a killer roaming around this empty Target store? I calmed myself down and said to the girl, "We should go to the front door and check if we can open it. Also, we have to get out and call 911. There's no signal inside the store." The girl nodded her head and started to follow me. We were walking side by side. There was pin-drop silence, and in that huge store, I felt like we were going to get lost in the dark. The storm was roaring outside, and I could hear the nervous breathing of that girl. I wasn't able to figure out which way is the main door in that excessive dark.
I was just at Target yesterday because I had a job interview, but that's besides the point. Target is kind of pretty big, so like I could only imagine if there was a killer there and all the lights were off. Yeah, I'd be scared. Yeah.
Also, my mobile's battery was draining out. I gave my phone to the girl and said, "You wait here. I'll go grab a flashlight." We were walking amidst the hardware section. I could almost see flashlights hanging, so I walked ahead and grabbed one. I was about to walk back to her when someone grabbed me from behind and pulled me inside. Whoever it was placed a hand on my mouth so that I couldn't scream. It was a strong hand, and it pinned me on the other side of the huge shelf. Out of shock and panic, I turned on the flashlight, and it was him. The weirdo from the cash counter.
Watch you be like
His
the
eyes
girl.
were wide, and blood was dripping from a cut on his forehead. He spoke in a low but panicked voice. "We must get out of here. That girl is out of her mind."
I knew it.
I was extremely surprised, thinking, what the hell is he talking about? He is the one who chased her, like a killer. The man took his hand off from my mouth. "What are you saying? She told me you're the one who was trying to kill her." "What? She's the one who attacked me. Hey, did you get the flashlight? Hurry up, we need to go." I saw the girl walking towards us with my phone in her hand. As soon as she reached close, the power came back, and I found myself standing between the man and that girl. They both saw each other, and their faces turned pale. "Will anyone tell me what's the deal with you two?" This man said that you attacked him. "What? Look at him. Look at me. He's lying. Didn't you see how he was checking me out at the counter before? He is the reason why I scared off that moment." "Oh my God, she is such a lying bitch, I'm telling you. Please believe me. I saw her lunge over that dead body in the storeroom. That's when she tried to attack me. She's the one who hit me on the forehead with a spanner. I don't have a single drop of blood on my hands.
Where's the spanner?
You murderer, don't trust him." Now think about my situation. I had no idea what these two were saying. So to get my head straight, I asked them to take me to that body in the storeroom. The man walked ahead, and I followed him for not having any other option. The girl went on saying how I should not listen to him, but I had to consider both sides. When we reached near the storeroom, the man opened it in one go, saying, "Look, there it is." There was indeed a bloody body of a young woman on the floor. Her mouth was slit open in a pretty gruesome manner. It was so violent that one could barely stand the sight. Her eyes were jumping out from the sockets, and blood was everywhere. "Oh my God, we need to call the cops." "Yes, and put this man in jail for what he did." "What? Me? I didn't do anything. You're the one sitting near this body. I'm gonna tell the cops what I saw." "Yeah, obviously, because I found her when I went back to get those snacks." "So you mean she was already dead when?" I immediately hit the guy in the head with all my strength. He fell on the floor screaming at the top of his lungs. "You were right. He is the murderer. Let's go. We have to find a way out." "I was telling you he is the one. Thank you so much for trusting me over him. I found the woman in the storeroom. I swear, I was just checking her out, and when I turned back, I saw this guy standing behind me with an evil look on his face."
I don't know, y'all. I don't know, y'all. It's giving she's the corporate. It's giving she's the one who did it. It's giving she's the murderer. Or there's another person there that they don't know. And she found the body after the murder, and he came and assumed it was her, and she was like, "Oh, he was staring me down, so he was gonna do that next to me." So she also assumed, and their assumptions didn't work out, and she clocked him in his head with a whatever the fuck he said, a spatula.
I mean, he was behaving really
Just think
odd
about
the
just
moment
think about what I
entered the
said.
store.
It just like
He
keep
came
it
at me,
like
so I grabbed the spanner from the storeroom and hit him in
marinating,
my defense.
sizzling,
Trust me, I just
seasoned
did
in
that
your
to save
mind.
myself.
Just
That's when the power went out. I met you all freaked out. Yes, I trust you. Don't worry. I took the girl towards the entrance and told her to wait near the door. There were 2 locks on that door. I walked straight to the counter and picked up a keychain full of keys. The girl stood beside me, and I opened the first lock of the door. She said in a relieved voice, "Thank God, we will finally be able to get out." I thought this night would be the... But she didn't finish her sentence. She started to step back nervously again. "How did you guess the key right at the very first attempt?" "What? How did you find the right key at the first attempt?" "Look, I really don't know what you're trying to say. It was just a wild guess. You're the one who killed that woman, right? And now you killed that man too? Oh my God, he was telling the truth?" Well, I couldn't lie to her anymore. I was anyway going to take her to some unknown road, slash her neck, and dump her body in the woods.
Hold up, because I was not expecting that. Okay. Alright.
Then why not do it now? I gave her a friendly smile, but she still didn't stop being afraid of me. I tried to calm her down, but she made me chase her the entire store. The more I laughed and tried to make things comfortable for her, the more she screamed. I mean, think about it. What other option do I have? I was returning home after finishing my final kill of the night. I put the body of that woman in the storeroom and was all set to leave. My intentions were all good. I knew that man was being a creep, so I waited for that girl, but look at this dumb bitch. She had to go back and sneak into the storeroom.
He had to call her dumb bitch.
She had to find that body. I could have already hit her from behind when she lunged on the dead body and watched it with scary eyes, if not the man came in the same direction. I hid behind the shelf and watched that entire drama unfold. None of them had a single idea that I am the predator, and they were my prey. But no regret. 3 kills instead of 1? Not bad, huh? All I have to do now is dump these 3 bodies inside that storeroom, then destroy the security footage, and drive home. Can't wait to finally enjoy a long shower with a glass of wine before going to bed tonight.
I like that story.
I was 10 and my sister was 6 or 7 years old. This incident happened.
I ain't expect.
We lived in a small suburb with less entertainment. The only thing we looked forward to was the weekends. Because on weekends, our mom took us to the city park and then for a small shopping trip where we could get any toy or chocolate we wanted. There was a Target store across the city park where we used to go. Being a huge Target store, it was our ideal spot to play all kinds of games.
Why her neck bent?
I still remember running among the high-rise shelves trying to catch each other. But being kids, we were naive. We had no idea that not everyone saw us like cute little children. Some saw us like prey too. After a hectic week at work, when Mom got some leisure, the weekend came knocking around the door. I could tell she was too tired and needed rest. But my sister Martha was adamant to go to the Target store and buy her long-wished Barbie doll. Mom tucked us to bed saying the next day she would take us there. Next morning when I woke up, I found Mom lying sick on her bed. She caught the flu and instructed me not to go near her. "I don't think I can take you out today. Let me call Grandma. She can take you to the park. There's some money on the kitchen counter. Take it and have fun today." I nodded my head and Mom called Grandma, explaining the entire situation. Mom told us to listen to her and not wander around by ourselves. Being the big brother, she set me in charge to take care of Martha. Within a half hour, Grandma pulled her car into our driveway and honked the horn. "Bye, kids. Have fun. Listen to Grandma." Mom bid us goodbye and we ran outside. I sat on the passenger seat and Martha sat at the back. Grandma told us funny stories on our way to the park, and we began the day with cheerful laughter. When we reached the park, we saw other kids running here and there. The park was an ideal spot for family picnics, so lots of people used to come there. Martha ran to the swing and I followed her. After playing for almost 2 hours, I felt like getting a soda for myself. The Target store stood across the park. I walked to Grandma, who was sitting on the corner park bench and reading her book. "Grandma, can we go to the store?" "Sure, but just wait some minutes. One of my friends is about to come. We'll go after meeting her." I had no problem waiting, but Martha was going crazy to buy her Barbie doll. She pulled my shirt and said, The store is right there. We can go and get it by ourselves. Grandma looked at me and nodded her head, saying, No. You two wait here. My friend will be here any minute. But my sister has always been a stubborn kid. She started kicking the mud and pleaded to Grandma to let us go. Being fed up with her tantrums, Grandma asked me if I could take her there and wait at the store. I replied I could. Martha and I started walking towards Target. Being a huge store, I often enjoyed exploring that place. Not to mention, the toys section was our favorite, but I liked roaming around the entire store. As we entered the store, we realized it was indeed a weekend because people were all over the place buying groceries, food items, daily needs, and whatsoever. I held Martha's hand because I didn't want her to get lost amidst the crowd. We started walking towards the toys section, and Martha's face lit up in joy. She was ranting about how she is going to dress her Barbie once she takes her home. The toy section was comparatively empty considering the other departments. As soon as she saw Barbie dolls stacked up on the shelves, she let go of my hand and rushed towards them. Don't run, Martha, I screamed. Look, there's so many
I would have snatched up by one of them pigtails, because
of them. I will buy one on each birthday, then I will have a room full of Barbies. Her eyes dazzled in excitement. I took out one Barbie randomly and said, Yeah, now let's go buy this one. I will get a soda after that. I don't want that one. I put the Barbie back and asked in a tiring voice, Then which one do you want? They're all the same, you know. No, they're not. She then pointed her fingers to a Barbie dressed in blue at a really top shelf, which was obviously out of my reach. I tried to grab that jumping 2 or 3 times, but they all failed. Just when I was thinking of looking for a Target employee to help us out, a woman with a squeaky voice spoke to us. Do you need help with that? I followed the voice and saw a woman standing in front of us. For a woman, her physique was really well built. She had broad shoulders and too much makeup on her face. The red lipstick on her rough lips looked like dried bloodstains. She smiled with her yellow teeth and asked again, Do you need help with that? Before I could say anything, Martha pointed to the top
I was like, nah, bitch, we good.
Can you get that blue Barbie? She slowly came close to us,
Martha,
and without taking her eyes off me, grabbed the Barbie.
Cause now,
here you go, little girl. Doesn't your brother talk much? Thanks for helping us. I see you talk really well. What is your name? Matthew, and that's my sister Martha. How sweet. You know what, Martha? I have so many beautiful dolls in my van. Would you like to come and take a look? You can get the ones you like for free. Maybe I was only 10 years old, but I knew this woman is a stranger to us, and honestly, I wasn't liking her at all. Exactly. No thanks. We better get going. Our grandma will be here any minute. As soon as she heard me mentioning my grandma, her face changed. Oh, I thought you guys were all by yourselves. I started to walk away pulling Martha, but being the hyperactive kid, she replied, Yeah, we are. Grandma is waiting for us in the park.
Because the way I would have choked. Okay.
I saw the woman's eyes sparkle with a weird joy. She once again gave her dirty yellow smile and said, Oh, I see. I'll see you around then. I walked away holding my sister's hand without taking the conversation ahead. I looked back just to see if she is following us and found her standing in the same manner, smiling at us. We reached near the cash counter and stood in line waiting for our turn. There were 4 other people ahead of us, and I remembered I forgot to buy my soda. I told Martha to wait in line and rushed to get my soda can. Making my way among the crowd and cackle of people, when I finally got my soda, I realized Martha might be waiting there all by herself. I was walking fast to the cash counter when a hand grabbed my shoulder. I turned around and saw Grandma. Where's your sister? She asked. I told her she is waiting for me near the cash counter. We both went there, but Martha wasn't there. Grandma and I both started to panic and informed the woman at the counter about my sister's sudden disappearance. They started announcing all over the store, asking for Martha to meet us back here, but she was nowhere to be found. We searched the entire store with 4 employees, and I was...
They don't have the little coolers where it's like right in the front where you could just grab and go.
That something bad might have happened to her. The store manager called the cops, and that's when I remembered about that weird-looking woman. I told the cops how she was trying to take her to her minivan, saying she had lots of dolls inside it. The police rushed to the Target parking lot and covered it from all sides. Thankfully, they found this dim, rusty black minivan parked at the dark corner. The van was shaking violently, and a cry of a kid was coming from it. My grandma held me back so I couldn't see what those cops saw once they opened the back door of the minivan. Years later, when I grew up, my mother told me all about it. The woman was actually a man dressed like a woman. The cops caught him while he was tying up my sister with barbed wire. Not just that, there were 2 other small girls inside that van. They were heavily sedated, and there's no doubt.
First of all, because I already knew that was a man, I done told y'all. Like, obviously. Like, kids are rude as hell. He should have been like, you looking like a man. You know kids, they rude as fuck. So.
He abducted those 2 kids too. But once they checked the front seat, they met with an even uglier sight. There was a woman lying on that seat with her face cut off with a sharp knife. Her hair was pulled out and formed into a wig. Her mutilated face was lying on the dashboard of the car with heavy makeup put on it. So basically, when we met that man, he was wearing this dead woman's face, which is why he looked so weird to me. The man was arrested with the charge of kidnapping, abduction, and murder. This woman was his wife, who used to help him by luring kids into his van. But with time, she demanded to be free of this inhumane profession and might have threatened the man to stop or she would go to the cops. What creeps me to the core is that this man not just killed his wife to shut her mouth, he even decided to use her face to appear like a woman in front of kids. And trust me, his plan did work to some extent. When I went to get a soda, he approached my sister again and lured her into his trap. If you ask me, I don't think that man did all these gruesome acts just for money. He is a sick psycho, and I'm glad he is going to rot in prison for the rest of his life.
Well, I'm gonna be looking over my shoulders tonight, but that is the end of this video. I think I'm gonna record another one. I'm feeling like recording another one, So I'm gonna do that. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Sorry. And that concludes this video. Thank you. Bye. Are you stop recording? Oh, bye.
Yeah.